We are back in St. Louis taking a look at the Millennium Hotel that is currently being demolished. This is a building that sits right on the Mississippi River, as you see in the background. This is a building that was built in 1965. This is a building that was opened up very close to the time the arch was built and the previous Cardinals Busch Stadium was built. So let's look at the history here. In 1969, this opened as Stouffer's Riverfront Inn. That went until the 1980s when it was renamed the Clarion Hotel, and that ran up into 1991 when it was renamed the Regal Riverfront Hotel, and that lasted until 1999 when it was given its final name, the Millennium Hotel, because it was purchased by Millennium Hotels and Resorts. It was the Millennium Hotel from 1999 until 2014 when it abruptly closed its doors. And then that entered a 12-year period where it sat abandoned. And of course, abandoned properties attract urban explorers. And there were quite a few videos that came out showing off the inside of this abandoned structure. There was a massive amount of mold accumulating in the basement here. So it just really got to the point where the cost to fix this place up would be so great. And honestly, then you are stuck in that older building that has limited use. And so they have come up with this plan for a $670 million mixed use redevelopment. This will bring 585 apartments, commercial office spaces, and of course, retail footprint, a food hall, and an outdoor amphitheater. So this could be the resurgence that downtown St. Louis needs, because St. Louis has had rougher times and it just is not like so many other Rust Belt cities which have seen their downtowns revived and just great places to be. Most downtowns are wonderful places to be. St. Louis downtown, for some reason, just feels dead and empty outside of a Cardinals game. But on this day, there was a Cardinals game that evening. So when I was pushing away from this, there was already crowds starting to gather in the downtown area. And I think St. Louis is just such a wonderful place. I absolutely love visiting, and just some of the attractions there are amazing. The Gateway Arch, that should be something that is bringing in international tourists. And St. Louis, I think in the next decade, we'll see massive resurgence because they are talking about doing some riverfront development, which I would absolutely love to see because so much of the St. Louis riverfront is dead. It's old industrial areas and so much of the industry has left. So massive amount of closed industrial buildings. And yes, all of that can be redeveloped into residential. That's really what is going to bring the resurgence to downtown, is the residential. Although here's an interesting shot right in front of us. You can see that concrete core. When this building was built, it was built in a brutalist style, meaning that it is a massive amount of concrete. So yes, watching this come down, you really can't see much from the ground because they have the sides there all covered up to keep the construction debris in. So when you're looking at this from the street, you can't really see any demolition happening. You have to go up in the air to look down to see that they are demolishing this building. But this is coming down floor by floor, and this is showing how they lift excavators up and down from the roof of this building. And that's how it is able to come down floor by floor. a lot of people would love to see it imploded because implosions are massive spectacles, and that is just not what we're going to see here because this is in an area with some buildings right around it. So, yes, they cannot do anything that would create, a wider debris field. And this going floor by floor, they're able to bring it down slowly, and then it doesn't create the spectacle. So, yes, you can go and see and notice that it's getting shorter, but active demolition is really hard to look at here. And this was just on a very quick day trip down to St. Louis from Chicago. I don't know why I just had to drive 9 hours to come down and see this and some other sites in downtown, but I love St. Louis that much. And just seeing how they do this with the lifting those. Now, that's a mini excavator. A real excavator is so much larger, but these mini excavators, they can do all the work of demolishing this building. Now we have this high rise coming to a place that is directly between the St. Louis Cardinals Busch Stadium and the Gateway Arch, which we see in the background right here. That is a National Park Service site, so a really incredible visit. But St. Louis, population 278,000, St. Louis metropolitan area 2.8 million, but the city has the infrastructure. It should have 1 million people living there. St. Louis is like Detroit, like many other ones that have seen significant population decline. The city was built for so many more residents, and hopefully, this is the resurgence to push it back to a higher population. But here, this is the last shot of the video. This is a drone 360 view. So we're just spinning around in a circle here so you can see what's surrounding us. You can see the Mississippi River in the background, and this is 15 miles south of where two of the longest rivers in the United States meet up, the Missouri River and the Mississippi River. So we are looking at the mighty Mississippi here. You see all that barge traffic. This is such a working river. You sit down on the St. Louis riverfront and you see commercial vessels moving back and forth all day long. It's really amazing to watch that. But this is this final turn, turning back towards downtown St. Louis. We have this new high rise coming, but I would like to see some other skyscrapers pop up in this view because St. Louis, it doesn't have a skyline like some other cities. So, yes, St. Louis, such a great place. Honestly, in the next 10 years, I hope we really see something special here.